The next topic we are going to have covered is turning your adversity and your challenge to a business. Turning your adversity, your challenge to a business. Now, to cover this topic is Philip. Philip started his career as a race equality officer in Lewisham. Anyone knows where Lewisham is? Yeah. South London, yeah. So it wasn't in Oxford Street. 15 years ago. No, it's very important so that you know that even though you are in Tottenham, you should not finish in Tottenham. There is a place up there that you must get to. So it started that 15 years ago after graduating from the London School of Economics. His work focused on giving young black people a voice on the local agenda. He developed a youth-led forum contributing to education and policing policy, including training 700 police officers on stop and search from a black youth perspective. He also has many, now think about it, training 700 police officers in London. You will be the next trainer. He also has many years of social enterprise experience working with young people in various settings. This work centered around building identity and aspiration by exploring little-known chapters of Black British heritage. Philip has also sat on the board of National Youth Charities as well as the Sickle Cell Society. Now you would understand why he was sitting in the Sickle Cell Society when he comes to speak. Philip is currently a director of the Udeh initiative, which works at national, regional, and local level to help build more sustainable communities across the UK. Udeh led the development of the Funis Fund, which delivered £2.4 million of emergency lottery grants to smaller BAME-led community groups during the pandemic. The National Lottery Fund has now committed to £50 million over 5 years to support the Funis Way, which is about strategic grant giving to Black and minorities groups and fostering systemic change. Philip lives with sickle cell, which inspired him to found a successful natural energy drink brand, Fueled Vitamin Energy. He also recently pitched successfully on the 2020 season of Dragon's Den. Philip founded Fueled Vitamin Energy after struggling for many years with chronic fatigue due to sickle cell anemia, the UK's most common hereditary disorder. Disillusioned by high sugar and artificially sweetened energy drinks, he decided to create something better. Fueled has literally gone from sofa to supermarket shelves with a mission to provide the world with some feel-good energy. The brand has been sold on Ocado, Sainsbury's, and Selfridges. In 2022/2023, the drinks launched nationwide in M&S. So, he is well positioned to speak to us on turning your adversity and challenge to a business. But before he comes up, Philip would like us to see a clip of his time at the Dragon's Den. And the next voice you hear after that will be that of Philip Udeh. And I'm sure some of us know him as well. If you have been here long enough, then you will know Philip. He's a runaway soldier, but he's back. Let's have the video. Thank you.
Next to enter the den are business partners Jess Gould and Philip Udeh, who first demonstrated his entrepreneurial spirit in the schoolyard in Tottenham.
What I would do is buy a 3-pack of cookies, 99p. But then I'd go to school, sell them in the playground for 50p each, until bigger kids came and started taking the cookies for free. Then it wasn't so good a business model when you had to deduct your losses there.
The duo are hoping their health offering can generate some healthy interest in the den.
Brain food to drink.
We've trialled our product to so many people, but to put it in front of the 5 dragons, that's really exciting.
Obviously, Tej is Vitabiotics. So I'd love to see our product, perhaps partnering with Tej, as long as we can nail the pitch. That's the key thing.
Don't faint, key points.
Don't faint.
Yeah.
Fun begins.
Indeed.
Hi, I'm Philip.
And I'm Jess.
And we're the founding team at Brain Food Drinks. We're here to ask for £50,000 in exchange for 10% of our company. Brain Food is the natural alternative to the artificial energy drinks. With no added sugar, no artificial ingredients, just a clean energy boost from plant-based caffeine, B vitamins, and electrolytes. I started Brain Food because I've suffered for many years with chronic fatigue due to sickle cell, which is the UK's largest hereditary blood disorder. I couldn't find a natural alternative in the mainstream supermarkets, so I started a journey to create one.
The UK energy drinks market is currently worth £2 billion, and the market leaders contain tons of added sugar or artificial ingredients. We think there's a real opportunity for a great tasting natural energy drink that caters to health-conscious millennials and vegans, and are excited to announce we've just secured a nationwide listing in selected Sainsbury's stores.
We really look forward to answering your questions, and in the meantime, let's try some drinks.
Hoping to shake up the energy drinks market with their more natural alternative are business partners Philip Udeh and Jess Gould.
Thank you, Philip.
They're seeking a £50,000 investment in return for a 10% stake in their company.
Oh, we get one each? I was about to start drinking your pineapple there.
Wow.
Tej Lalvani's healthcare credentials have put him in the entrepreneur's sights, and the pair's proposal certainly appears to have piqued his interest.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Tej.
It tastes okay, and interesting space for me, so great. But it's a tough business. I'd say 90% at least of drinks that come on the market fail. So, are the vitamins the same in each of them?
Yeah, B5, B6, B12.
And what else have we got in there?
Ginseng and guarana. Guarana is
Natural caffeine.
So we've got about 75 milligrams of natural caffeine, so about the same amount as in a cup of coffee, or the market-leading energy drinks.
And what's the sugar content in there?
the sugar content is 1 gram per 100 ml, whereas the market-leading energy drink is around 11 grams per 100 ml.
Okay.
Who are they? Can you say their name?
Well, it's Red Bull, yeah. So
Red Bull. So that is your elevator pitch, isn't it? It is that, but healthier.
We encounter a lot of people who say that, hey, I would not drink that type of product because it's got artificial ingredients, because it's got aspartame, or because it's got added sugar. They say, well, actually, you know what, there is a gap.
I just think that you have got a huge mountain to climb, because trying to get your voice heard in this sector, boy, is it tough.
But energy drinks is a $55 billion market. And the real growth is coming with the low sugar and no sugar varieties. And that is, you know, where I think we can have an opportunity, which is truly a global opportunity as well.
It's just a really, really tough marketplace. We could spend millions and it could still not win.
Deborah Meaden gets the USP of the duo's drinks, but has concerns about the feverish competition within their chosen sector. And it appears the pair's most desired dragon, Tej Lalvani, now has a query about the appearance of their product.
So, just looking at this, and all of a sudden looking at that packaging for the cans, I like the cans a lot better than that. So,
Sure.
Is that going to move to that?
That is where the product is moving to. What we found is that a lot of people are not getting the functional proposition in this Tetra Pak format. So now we're going to aluminium cans. With the cans, we feel it'll be a lot clearer as an energy proposition, because that's what a lot of the market leaders look like.
Right, but Sainsbury's is taking this, I presume,
Yeah.
then?
They are taking that.
But if you believe this so strongly, why would you not move straight to cans in Sainsbury's and make it a massive success. And don't put the product that you don't believe in into the market.
It's a good point. I wouldn't say we don't believe in it, because, you know...
Well, no, you don't believe that this is the right way to sell the product.
Not going forward.
Yeah, not going forward.
But then you are about to start a trial with the very thing that you think going forward isn't going to work.
You know, the brand is the thing that still sticks, and, you know, we hope that the more people that see brain food and start to associate it with being a natural product, even if they're not getting this packaging, our hope is that when they see the new cans, they'll be like, oh, that's new brain food. Let's try that.
Guys, you probably feel like you've done the hard bit in that you've got this onto the shelves in Sainsbury's, but the reality is getting it on the shelves isn't the difficult part, it's getting it off the shelves. Is there anything you've done in a marketing sense? Are there any influencers who've picked this up and talked about it?
Over the past couple of weeks, we are featured in one of Zoella's stories on Instagram, which was quite good. And she's got like 1 million followers. So.
You need more than just Zoella having a can of this stuff in the next few weeks. You want every man and his dog talking about it.
Agreed.
You've got one shot, because honestly, if you don't make it off this, not only is that Sainsbury's closed down, but then it'll make the conversation 10 times harder with the next guys.
Words of warning from Sarah Davies, who knows what marketing strings need pulling when building a brand. Tuka Suleiman is next to quiz the entrepreneurs, and it seems he's got a potential customer in mind for their health drink.
You know, I have a 21-year-old daughter. Unfortunately, she only drinks Diet Coke and nothing else. I'd pay anything to get her onto a drink like this.
Excellent.
Thanks.
However, I've had a taste of this. It's just not strong enough. You need to come up with something that's going to stand there and say, wow. I think that you've got the right team, the wrong product. And unfortunately, the two don't match. And for that reason, I'm not going to invest and I'm out.
Tuka Suleiman is underwhelmed by the energy product and decides to end his interest. And it appears Sarah Davies has made up her mind about the pair's proposal.
And the big thing for me is what Tej said. You know, he said 90% of drinks coming into this sector fail, and that terrifies me. I wasn't blown away with the product. I'm not blown away with the packaging, the proposition. I'm just like, it's all right. So for all of those reasons, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm out.
I tell you what's holding me in. You are very, very good. I think if you hadn't presented this, I would have reached a different conclusion quite early on. And I quite like the product. But I don't know, it hasn't quite, you know, it's not like, wow, you know, that's amazing. There's this, I've never thought of that before, and brilliant, that fits it. It just hasn't got me. So I won't be investing. I'm out.
Deborah Meaden likes the duo, but isn't dazzled enough by their drinks, and she becomes the third dragon to drop out. Supplement Supremo Tej Lalvani is, on paper, a natural fit for the natural drink proposition. But has he bought into their pick-me-up product?
Guys, I think you're a really good team, and what you stand for is good, and people are shouting out for something a lot healthier. The low sugar is something that's trending, everyone's doing, and I think you're right. There is definitely a gap in the market, but I'm not sure if the product is actually right. I just think the product needs to be a little more unique. So I'm gonna have to say I'm out.
The drink proposition is heading down the drain as the entrepreneur's favourite dragon pulls the plug. But there is one more potential investor left in the mix.
I think we're all waiting to see what Peter thinks.
However, it appears he's not in any rush to make a decision.
I'm drinking it to see if it's making any difference to my brain and my thoughts. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
But in terms of taste, I struggled with the pineapple and ginger. And actually, I'd be even tempted not to continue it if you were to carry on. And I have this visualisation of this graveyard with lots of drinks and brands just in there. But I really do like the brand. I think it's very clever. But I have, for my sins, been involved in similar products. And I think that your chance of success is really tiny. I've enjoyed drinking it, so thank you very much for that. It's fantastic. And I'm going to make you an offer of £50,000 for 30%.
Oh.
Because I like a little bit of a challenge, and I think sometimes you need a little bit of luck and opportunity in life, and I think this could be it. So there's my offer.
Peter, thank you for your offer. Do you mind if we have a quick think?
No, please. Do you want to take a drink with you?
That's okay.
The entrepreneurs secure an offer from Peter Jones just when all seemed lost.
Could be great to have them on board.
But his demand of 30% of their business is 3 times more than the 10% the pair are offering.
Don't try and push him down. They'll be stupid if they don't take Peter up here.
They will.
Peter, thank you so much for your offer. Would you be prepared if we were to counter offer and say, would you accept 20% of the business for £50,000?
I wouldn't, and I wouldn't because I just think it's going to take a lot of work. So I think the value in terms of contribution is quite enormous. If it doesn't succeed and I lose 50,000, you know, no disrespect to you, but you've gone on a journey and it hasn't worked. I've lost now £50,000 and I've put a huge amount of effort and a team and people. So there is a cost to that.
Would you be willing, if we can make progress against agreed milestones, to even roll back to 25% at some point?
I wouldn't know. I'm going to be firm on this. There's an internal belief that I have, the value that I can add to this, and I think that that's got to count for something.
We'd love to accept your offer.
Yay! Well done. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Amazing. I look forward to working
Well
with you.
done, guys. Great
Well done.
invention. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Peter Jones goes from silent assassin to shareholder, and the drinks duo departs with the £50,000 they were seeking and a business behemoth on their board.
Peter was silent for so long, it was either going to go one of two ways, either him absolutely hating the product or making an offer. So I'm really glad it was the latter.
But Peter is worth 30%. I think we've got a really good partner on board.
Yeah.
All I say is brain food works. It's not just good for your health, it's natural.
That's the ad, shot and done.
Hey, praise God. Okay, thank you for watching. I know some of you may have seen it before. For those of you who don't know me, you can call me Brother Philip. I'm one of you as well. As Pastor said, I'm long lost brother. And I always enjoy coming back. You know I don't come as often as I should, but I always enjoy coming back because, you're coming and I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing the children who are small, now they're big. Some of the adults were small, now they're also... I'm not looking at anybody in particular, but some are also big. It's good. So you see, work is happening, and, I really appreciate this place, and what this place stands for. It makes me even emotional just to be here because, it's almost 20 years ago, I gave a testimony. Some of you were here. Sister Choma, you were you were there when, sickle cell almost cost me my life. You know, I was in intensive care. This is 2001. 2001, you know, and I had a severe crisis. I almost died. I had pneumonia. I had kidney failure. And I was in intensive care at that time for about 2.5 weeks in intensive care. Intensive care, if you know what intensive care means, it means that machines are needed to keep you alive. Without those machines, at that time I was on dialysis. And because my kidneys stopped, they shut down, you know, and the blood was going out, goes through the machine, comes back in. At that time, the technology was, the blood's coming in, the blood is cold, so you're shivering. But, you know, I remember that experience. And even that experience during that time in intensive care, I saw them, the person next to me, I said, hey, what's happened? Where's he gone? I said, you know, he passed, and he went out. And, you know, it just wasn't my time. God had a different plan for me. And, you know, 20 years later, we're here together, and, you know, life is moving. And, yeah, I just really, really thank God because, you know, sickle cell is not easy. You know, some of you may know of friends, family members who have sickle cell. It's not easy. And, you know, the thing that I really suffered with is tiredness, always feeling tired. You know, particularly when I had my daughter who is here. She can stand up and wave. Might come and say hello. Come and stand up. Come close. Come closer. You can wave to everybody. You can just wave to everybody. Okay, go and sit down. So this is my daughter who's now 7. So, you know, actually it's during that time when I was just tired. Those of you with children, you know that first, particularly the first 18 months when they're waking up at night, and I was doing night duty. You wake up, change nappies, pass her to the mummy for feeding, and then you sleep, we wake up again. Oh, it was, you know, it was a lot. So that's when I kind of came to the idea, you know what if there's a healthier alternative to Red Bull and all these artificial energy drinks like Monster and so on. And so I just went on Google. You know, my mom would say, Google, go and Google this thing for me. So I Googled it, and then, you know, I searched food technologists, London. That's what I searched. That was the first thing, because you know my background has been working in communities, doing schools. Some of you remember Brother Alan, who used to do community work with me. We were together, going into schools, doing community programs and work. I just had this idea for, hey, you know what? Let me just go on Google. Went on Google. The person who I saw, the first name, I said, let me just call this person. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was just on pajamas at home, relaxing. I said, let me call this guy. I called this guy Brian Smith. He's based in Nottingham, food technologist. He picked up. I said, sorry, I know it's a Sunday, but I wanted to, you know, just see if you can help me with my idea. He said, oh, I'm working every day. Don't worry, let's talk. So we spoke. You know, before we knew it, 2 weeks later, he came to London, brought 2 of his friends. They charged me around £3,000 for that one-day workshop where we spent a day together. But even though I may have overpaid, it was the beginning of the journey, you know. And that day we sat with whiteboard, looked at, okay, this is how you can do formulation. This is how you can do a branding process. And, you know, one of the interesting things I'll say is that there's a lot of people, if you start a business, who will come and give you a blueprint and say, pay me, and I'll give you the product. And the reality is, if those people could give you the product, why would they not be doing it themselves, you know? However, you can take a lot of learning from people like that, but you must always put your own ideas, your own imprint into it. Nobody can carry you over the finish line, you know? You have to run, and you have to walk and push and work hard. And so that was the beginning of my journey. That was so around 2016. That's when I had the idea. And all I did was just go on Companies House, put in check the name Brain Food, because that was the name that came up. Food, F-U-D. Some of you who know Deutsch, they have this, F-U with the 2 dots, with the umlaut. I don't know if you can see on the cans here. So we were rushing, so we had to pick some from the health store in Crouch End. We had to just pick some because of traffic. We couldn't stop at home. For me, just the journey has been one of, when you know your direction of travel, but you're not quite sure exactly how you're going to get there. And I think sometimes it's okay to not know, right? And I think for some of us, it's the not knowing that stops us from even starting on the journey, And I feel like even when we pitched our business with the Dragons, you saw a 15 minutes clip. But that whole interaction with them was 2 hours, grilling us, talking about the numbers, talking about the product, the formulation, the flavors, the marketing. 2 hours that they just edited into a very short clip like that. And so, by the time I got there, I was an expert. It took me 3 years of constantly learning, testing. I will go to manufacturers. Some of the manufacturers will even ignore me. They'll say, this guy's just been watching Apprentice, or he's been watching these TV shows where they start businesses. Some of them don't even respond, But you go, you meet people, you meet flavor houses, there's people called flavor houses, where you can go there and say, hey, I want to develop a product. They'll say, okay, come. You come and you put your lab coat, you will develop different flavors. You say, this one is too bitter, let's add something else. And you try, mix different flavors. It's a process that, a lot of people don't really think about, how these products, all the multiple products that we buy every day, people don't really think, hey, you know what? I can create my own, Or the one you don't like, you can say, hey, how come this has to be like this? Why can't it be a different way? And so the idea that I had, just from that, opening my laptop that day, Sunday afternoon, and just Google, that turned into now a product that has been sold nationwide. We've sold over 7 figures of cans, of products. And so, for me, it's something that I'm very proud of, and actually it's something that, it's funny because I'm in a place now where we had a very disappointing news earlier, last summer, from Marks and Spencer's. They told us after 1 year of selling our product, they said, hey, we're going to bring back Red Bull into the stores where we've been selling your products. And so you can imagine, when they told me they're bringing back Red Bull, I said, what do you mean? But this is a healthy version, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, it's the numbers. The numbers the numbers are the bottom line. So I was quite discouraged, by the whole thing. And it even made me think, so how are we going to continue? Because I know personally what I've put into this business, right? So you've seen the Dragons Den people talking. I know I've put in at least 3 times of what was on offer, right, here in the Den. And we've had investors, we've done crowdfunding. I've raised, I'll put it as $1 million, if it was in dollars terms. We've raised over $1 million in total investment to go into bringing these products to market. And so, that kind of discouragement just made me think, so what if this business fails? What's going to happen? What is, how am I going to continue? If people who watched me on TV, everybody, after people see this, my phone was ringing. Hey, people were hailing me. Hey, what on this thing? Once they know Peter now is in your phone book, they'll say, hey, But they don't realize the journey is constant, it's ongoing, right? And the things I've learned in this journey, even if we close this business tomorrow and we don't produce drinks, I know the process I've been through. I've learned so many skills in product development. I've learned so many skills in marketing, in sales. I've learned how to approach, some of the biggest retailers in this country. You can approach them if you know the right way to communicate and to look at what's your unique selling point, what makes you different. You know, to get into Marks and Spencer's, we wrote to the chief executive of Marks and Spencer's. And I said to him, hey, you know what? We've got this new product. And actually, I said, I would be interested to know how many black-owned products do you have in your stores? And guess what? I got a response. Not from the chief executive, from the commercial director. And that was the beginning of the journey. It took a long time. If anybody knows M&S, they don't sell a lot of brands in M&S, of different people's brands. They love to sell their own products that they manufacture themselves, and very few selected products they bring in. So for us to go through the process, the compliance process for M&S, I did with my own hands. You know, I did with my own brain, going into spreadsheets, making sure that all of the ingredients, the percentages of the caffeine is calculated correctly, the nutritionals. We checked it, cross-checked it, brought in consultants to cross-check again, submit it. They came back with questions. We go back and forth. This was a 6-month process. But I'm saying that to let you know that, you know, anybody can have an idea. And if you can have that boldness, this is what I love what Sister Natalie was saying. You know, when she got that job, where she said, listen, I don't know. I haven't done this job before, but I know if you give me the opportunity, I will do it. And I think that's what faith is. That's all the essence of faith. Faith is you may not even know the end destination. You may not have the answer, but you start somewhere, right? And you believe if I take step by step by step by step by step, you will get an outcome and you'll get a result. And so, you know, I would love to talk more and have some questions afterwards. And one thing I would say is that any of you that has an idea, however small you think it is, right? That idea can become a multi-million-pound business or brand. And I'll even give you the testimony, not even my own, in fact, I take it as my own testimony, because my first person that I hired in my business, a guy called Yao Okera, he's a Ghanaian. He started a brand called Ava Estelle, skincare brand. Some of you who use Instagram, you may know of this product, skincare product. The product did 8 million pounds in turnover last year. First year, 2 million pounds. Second year, 8 million pounds, right? This guy was my first man next to me. We put on that coat together to go and produce the products. When he gives his testimony, he uses me in his testimony. He says, yeah, when I was with Philip, we were going together, learning product development together, you know? And he created something through this experience. So, you know, this thing has given a lot of people opportunities through this journey as well. And there'll be more testimonies to come. And I'm coming back even with more testimonies. Hopefully not another 20 years. It has to be, this testimony has to be very soon, very soon. But yeah, I appreciate you, Pastor. Thank you for the invite to come. And I hope this testimony, and I call it a testimony, I hope this testimony has blessed you all. Thank you so much.